My name's not common.
All right, here's the audience. All right. Hello everybody. My name is Jared Delmundo, and today we talk about how to become like me, a pilot license. How to earn a pilot's license. So, by show of hands, how many of you guys want to be a pilot when you want to grow up?
I could take it or leave it.
All right, that's a pretty good amount, which is interesting because according to Job Seekers International Search Volume for jobs, being a pilot is the #1 dream job for 55 countries, which is like a lot of people, right? Which is interesting, but the most common reasons why I hear people that they don't want to become a pilot or why it's hard is because they either don't know the process or they don't know how much it will cost them out of pocket to become a pilot. So that's what we're here to go over today. So here's what we're going to go over for you guys. We're going to go over getting started and the different type of flight schools there are, the training process in which to become a pilot, as well as certification requirements and the tests you have to take to become a pilot. So going over, before you start training, here's some minimum things you have to be. You have to be obviously English proficient. You must be able to speak, read, write. You must be at least 17 years old to become a pilot, as well as to get a third-class medical certificate from your local aviation medical examiner. You can find it in this website right here, faa.gov/pilot/AME locator. And this is like I argue as this is the most important step to becoming a pilot because there's some certain conditions that can medically disqualify you guys from becoming a pilot. So it's best to know if you're able to get a medical certificate or not to save you guys time and money. So once we got all that out of the way, here are the different types of flight schools that are in the world. You got Part 61 and Part 141. Part 61 are your local flight schools that are very flexible, more cost effective, and you pay as you need usually. While Part 141 schools, however, they are usually more traditional, they have syllabus, and they are more structured, full-time, and basically like going like Lexington State College. So basically, according to Aviation Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association, it'll cost around an average of $6,000, $20,000 to get a pilot's license. However, you can mediate those costs by picking an appropriate flight school. And according to Pilots Institute, which is helps students pilots become pilots, Part 61 is more cost effective than Part 141. And basically they also say that if you plan to become a commercial pilot, Part 141 is the way to go. While it's Part 61, you just pay as you need, which is a cheaper option. However, this will take you longer compared to this one. So once you pick out your appropriate flight school, here's what the training process involves. Ground school is one of them. It is basically like driver's ed, but for planes, right? Can you believe it? And it goes all over these things like aircraft, weather, navigation, all these things in order to help you navigate the skies safely and effective as possible. And the second part, obviously, is the flight portion, which is basically goes over how you fly, how you take off, land, plan your flights, all those things and maneuvers in order to help you fly safely and basically pretty much, yeah. So once you gone over that, here are some certification requirements and your final steps in order to become a pilot. I said it so many times. Here are the requirements for Part 61. I'll give you guys some time to read over that. So basically, it seems really long and convoluted, but don't worry, you'll be basically doing mostly all this all in one lesson. So there's nothing to worry about. Cross country means long flight. And yeah, that's pretty much requirements for a Part 61, which is a flexible school. Part 141 schools, it's basically almost the entire same thing, but I listed out the differences, which is usually more shorter, but it also involves getting your syllabus done and all the requirements done in the syllabus. It varies between every Part 141 school, but that's how it usually is. So once you get your hours and finish the ground portion of school, you have to take a written exam, which is 60 questions, 2 hours and 30 minutes, and there will be 3 multiple choice answers, and the minimum score to pass is 70%. You don't have to be a good test taker in order to pass the test. They will not try to trick you, and they will not take off points if you miss a question. You basically have a lot of time, 60 questions, and a 2-hour 30-minute limit, which is really doable. And once you pass the test, you have the practical exam, which is also known as check ride, which is arguably one of the scariest parts of becoming a pilot is the practical exam. And there are 2 portions to the exam. One is the ground and the flight portion. The ground portion is basically like a conversation with your designated pilot examiner, a DPE, and you will go over the things you missed on your written exam, as well as go over scenarios that you could come across while flying. And he will judge you based on the judgments that you've taken, as well as the decisions that you take. As well as the flight portion, basically is how well you fly and handling a plane, how well you land and do all the maneuvers, and as well as how you prepare for emergencies and how you go over it. And he'll judge you based on all these 2 portions of the test, which is your final portion. And if you pass it, congratulations, you become a private pilot license holder. So to conclude this PowerPoint, becoming a pilot is an achievable goal. We have gone over the minimum requirements to become a pilot, the different types of flight schools that you can get, as well as the training that is involved in becoming a pilot, as well as the tests that you have to take to become a pilot. You'll face some setbacks and challenges along the way becoming a pilot, but don't let that hold you back, because I have failed the check ride like at least once, and I got the minimum score on a test. But I use those failures as stepping stones to get you further and hopefully achieve your goal one day of becoming a pilot or whatever you want to achieve. Thank you.